Great. Good afternoon. My name is Diane Hanson, and I am the Program Director for MassDOT's Safe Routes to School program. Welcome to our New Tools for Schools spring webinar. Thank you for being here and spending time with us. So just a few housekeeping items. This is a Zoom meeting, not a webinar, so please keep yourself muted until Q&A. Live transcript is available for this meeting, which can be turned on with your Zoom controls. This meeting will be recorded and available on the Safe Routes to School website. Today, we're excited to have some MassDOT folks join us and share their new Safe Speeds tools and resources. After that, our team will present all the new resources developed this school year under the 6 E's. Lastly, we will promote our upcoming events and should have some time for Q&A. Leon's going to paste a PDF copy of this presentation into the chat with all of the active hyperlinks to our new resources that you'll see as we move on through the presentation. As a reminder, here are the members of the Safe Routes to School team and the municipalities with which they work. Everyone on the team has a role in today's presentation, and we look forward to hearing from the many voices in our program. And now I would like to introduce our special guest speakers today from MassDOT. Jackie DeWolf is the Director of Sustainable Mobility for the Massachusetts Department of Transportation, working to create a safe, equitable, and just transportation system. Jackie directs the state's bicycle and pedestrian plan implementation strategy and capital budget, chairs the Massachusetts Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Board, and co-chairs the Interagency Trails team. She previously facilitated the development of MassDOT's new design criteria, design justification process, and updated Complete Streets review, including First in Nation transit accommodation criteria. She's worked on several programs, including Complete Streets, Mass Trails, and Shared Streets and Spaces. Prior to joining MassDOT, Jackie was the executive director of the nonprofit Livable Streets Alliance. She also served as an independent consultant providing strategic planning and coaching to individuals and organizations across the U.S. Welcome, Jackie.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here, Diane, and everyone else. And thank you for all of the work you all do year-round. I love the Safe Routes to School program and everything that it is, has been, and also can be moving forward. And really excited to be here to present some of our recent work that we've done at the Massachusetts Department of Transportation, and look forward to joining the whole meeting to hear about other things happening. So again, Jackie DeWolf at MassDOT. Both kind of a sad and a happy note. So sadly, roadway fatalities are on the rise. In 2021, we just reported that we had the highest number of people killed in crashes in the past 12 years, and thousands more people seriously injured. Not new news to all of you, but just sitting with that for a moment, that's hundreds of people's moms, sons, grandparents, kids, neighbors, colleagues, just trying to get to where we want to go. And so we at MassDOT have been working across many facets of safety. How do we keep people safe as a number one priority, not accepting, one life lost or altered. And one of the primary factors in serious and fatal crashes is speed. And speed both leads to more serious and fatal crashes. And we also know that speed deters people from using our roadways and making people feel safe, walking, biking, going outside, especially children and their caregivers, families. And so the work you all do at Safe Routes to School, how do we get people and kids and families safely to school? And then also, at all times of, day for activities, just where people live, work, and play. So MassDOT this year is officially adopting the Safe System approach, proven to reduce serious injuries and fatalities. It takes a holistic view of the road system, moving away from, how do we improve human behavior to making sure that we're designing for human mistakes and limitations, knowing that people will inevitably make mistakes that can lead to crashes. But when crashes do happen, how do we make sure that they don't result in death and serious injury, and moving away from focusing on individual responsibility to shared responsibility between users and people who design and manage the roadways. And also moving towards a more proactive approach, not just reacting to crash history and who's using the road today, but more proactively identifying and addressing where there's risks to prevent crashes and making roadways safe. So there's many components of a safe system approach. And for today, we want to just highlight work we're doing around one key component, which is safe speed. So I'm going to be handing it over to my colleague, back to Diane, and then over to my colleague, Chris, who's going to go into more detail about new resource as well as approach that we're taking. But if you take away just a few things, I want you to know that changes in speed is possible. We want to partner to realize safer speeds and target speed, target speed, target speed. So with that, I'll hand it back to Diane and then on to Chris. Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie. And now I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Christopher Falcos. Chris is part of the Transportation Technology Group in MassDOT's Traffic and Safety Department, working on integrating new technology into transportation. In this role, Chris has assisted the DOT to fill gaps in its counting program by using quick setup side fire radar counting stations. And if you don't know what those are, I didn't, and he was explained it to me, and you can ask him in the Q&A, and probe data analytics to understand the impacts of COVID-19 on transportation trends. These impacts included changes in traffic volumes and speeds, resulting in Chris assisting in the development of the state's Safe Speeds project, where he used his previous experience in traffic safety. Welcome, Chris, and let's go ahead and have you share your screen now.
Thank you, Diane. I'm going to do that right now. And it should be up now.
Yep, we can see it. Great.
Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Diane, for that introduction. As Diane said, I'm Chris Falcos. I work at MassDOT's Traffic and Safety Department. And today I'm going to talk to you about a little bit what MassDOT is doing to help with speed management. Okay. So MassDOT's role in reducing speeds, we're taking a more active role now. We're trying to find ways to help reduce speeds across all of Massachusetts, not just on roads that we own. So we've developed a new set of tools that are going to help with reducing speeds. We've developed new guidance. We're taking an active role on outreach. And as Jackie said, we've adopted the safe systems approach. Oh, sorry about that. My dog is barking. Let me just. So sorry about that. So let's go on to the first thing, tools. So as I said, we've created a new set of tools, which primarily is a new website that's going to be a living document. We're going to be updating it with the newest information, the newest technology, everything that we can to make sure that we're continuously addressing speeds in the right way and the best possible method. So this website has step-by-step instructions on how you can effectively implement speed management into your community. We've with that we have a list of countermeasures that cities and towns can use to help address speeds. We are helping with trying to raise awareness, and we've changed how we talk about addressing speeds because, as you know, for a long time we've always responded with, when people come to us asking to reduce speed limits, we always say that a traffic study has to be done, and traffic studies are usually done based on what the speeds of vehicles are already going on the road. And if you don't do anything to reduce people's speeds, the traffic study will usually increase speeds. So we've changed how we're talking about that. But so for the first thing, the big thing that really is going to help everyone with addressing speeds on our roadways is roadway countermeasures. So we have a toolkit on our website that shows all different types of roadway countermeasures that have been proven to reduce speeds. And with that, there are intersection countermeasures, corridor countermeasures, and mid-block countermeasures. So as you can see, just from on the right side of the screen, a quick idea is landscape chicanes, which are basically it's a method of making people shift over on the roadway, and that helps to reduce speeds. And as you can see, we have estimated costs showing that traditionally landscape chicanes cost about $10,000 to implement, and you can see a reduction of speed between 10 to 29%, which is a pretty significant reduction. So we're hoping that with this, we can really show towns and cities what are actual methods of reducing people's speeds and how they can make their roads safer. And we also have tips in the website, tips for implementation, things that you should be cognizant of, where these type of countermeasures work best, if they should be done near schools, if they should be done on high volume roadways, all that kind of stuff. And the biggest part about this is raising awareness. I mean, we all know that high speeds result in higher impact crashes and possibly more deaths. So we're trying to really show what the actual cost is. So as you can see over here, we have a little figure that shows at 20 miles per hour, the risk to pedestrians for fatality and serious injury is 13%. Just a 10-mile an hour increase in vehicle speed increases the risk of death and serious injury to 40%, and then 40 miles per hour, you're as high as 73%. That's almost 3 in 4 pedestrians dying or being seriously injured by a crash. And another thing to really show why slower speeds are imperative on our roadways is, as you can see on the bottom, there's the cone of vision. At a lower speed, 20 miles per hour, you are very easily able to perceive everything on the roadway. You can see and perceive the sidewalks and pedestrians on the sidewalks, what's going on around you. The faster you go, the harder it is to really understand what is happening around you. And that puts you at a greater risk of colliding with a pedestrian, because as much as we love to think that we're all very smart and can deal with situations quickly, a child running out into the roadway between two parked cars, it's very difficult to react quickly enough when you're going 40 miles per hour. And it's at 40 miles per hour, you have a very high chance of fatality and serious injury. So, and like I mentioned before, clarity is a big thing that we're working on. As I said, whenever people ask us to reduce speed limits, we always used to come back and say that you have to do a traffic study, and traffic studies are based on 85th percentile. Now, that's Massachusetts state law, and we can't change that, but that doesn't mean that we can't change people's speeds. It's just putting up new speed limit signs arbitrarily won't help. So with these new speed management countermeasures, we can redesign the road, encourage people to drive slower with awareness, and really drive home this the reduction in speeds through these measures. So once you put all these countermeasures onto the roadway, actually reduce people's speeds, then you can do a traffic speed study, and you will actually find that the speeds have been reduced. And with this new reduction in speeds, we can put up new traffic signs that say to go slower and to reduce your speeds, and will effectively have reduced people's speeds. And with this, as great as it is to tell the public all this and tell them what they can be doing, we've updated guidance for ourselves. So MassDOT is currently working on a new project development guideline. And with that, we have now added in speed management as part of the design process. And as Jackie mentioned, we have fully adopted safe system approach, and it is now a part of how we design our roadways. So internally, we are also, as they say, we're putting our money where our mouth is, and we're doing exactly what we're telling everyone to do. And it's a huge part of how we're now designing our roadways. But if guidance and websites, they're great and everything, but how do we really make sure that it works? by conducting outreach. We've taken a much more active role in outreach, and I've personally sent out surveys to municipalities on various listservs and have asked them if they know what speed management is, if they've seen our website, and have started to do some additional outreach with them, trying to find out different things that we can do to better serve municipalities, better give them guidance, better teach them how to deal with speeds. And as with that, we're also doing outreach to our design consultants who do most of the design work that for our roadways, and also internal outreach. We've done some project manager roundtables. We've done presentations to our own project managers to really make sure that they know what's going on with this new approach and new how we're embracing speed management. And just to really give a high overview of what a safe systems approach is, as you can see from the graph on the right, or the figure on the right, we have this neat little circle that shows the 6 tenets of safe systems. So at the top, death and serious injuries are unacceptable. While no crashes are desirable, the safe systems approach prioritizes crashes that result in death and serious injuries, since no one should experience either when using the transportation system. Humans make mistakes. People will inevitably make mistakes that can lead to crashes, but the transportation system can be designed and operated to accommodate human mistakes and injury tolerances and avoid death and serious injuries. Humans are valuable. People have limits for tolerating crash forces before death and serious injury occurs. Therefore, it is critical to design and operate a transportation system that is human-centric and accommodate human survivabilities. The responsibility is shared. All stakeholders, transportation system users and managers, and vehicle manufacturers must ensure that crashes don't lead to fatal or serious injuries. Safety is proactive. Proactive tools should be used to identify and mitigate latent risks in transportation systems rather than wait for crashes to occur and react afterwards. And redundancy is crucial. Reducing risks requires that all parts of the transportation system are strengthened so that if one part fails, the other parts still protect people. And with that, we have the 5 parts of who is part of safe systems. Now, traditionally, MassDOT has done the roads portion, and police and emergency response deal with post-crash care. But this is an all-encompassing um, it's an all-encompassing approach to safety, and we need road users to be safe. We need manufacturers to create safer vehicles, and as a whole, all of us need to start driving slower so that we can really get to our Vision Zero goal, which is to make sure that in the future we have no more fatalities on our roadways and no more deaths for anybody on our roads. And with that, thank you very much. And I will be here till the end for questions and answers.
Thank you, Chris. I'm going to see if I can go back to sharing my screen. Okay. And if you could tell me, am I sharing the right screen, Chris?
Yes, you are.
Okay, great. So while you were speaking, I did have Leon put the link to the Safe Speeds website. And I do want to say a big thank you to our folks from MassDOT, Jackie and Chris. Chris provided us his slides in advance, so Leon is also going to paste those into the chat for everyone to download. And both Chris and Jackie will be staying through Q&A, as they mentioned, for any questions on their presentation. And now I'm going to pass the slides to Lucy to talk about our first new education tool.
Thanks, Diane. Have you ever found yourself looking for a short, snappy one-page summary of the Safe Routes to School program that you can hand out to anyone and everyone who is interested in learning more about Safe Routes to School? Look no further than our Safe Routes to School one-page primer. This document offers an overview of the Safe Routes to School program and the benefits for students, families, schools, and communities. It is a great resource to hand out to parents, school administrators, municipal officials, community members, and others to pique their interest in Safe Routes to School and encourage them to identify aspects of the program they think their community could benefit from. Now I'll pass it along to Vivian to talk about our webinar for municipalities.
Sorry about that. I was having a hard time unmuting myself. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thanks, Lucy. The Safe Routes to School team hosts an annual webinar focused on a topic of interest to a diversity of our stakeholders, our school partners, our parents, transportation planners and engineers, bike and pedestrian groups, and more. This year's theme was related to right-of-way. If you attend public meetings in your community related to transportation projects, you've heard of that term. But do you really know what it means? We were joined by Linda Walsh, a transportation planner and community compliance officer with MassDOT's Right-of-Way Bureau. The presentation included information about right-of-way in general before focusing in on how this process relates to Safe Routes to School in Massachusetts. Hopefully, some of you here were able to attend our fall theme summit in October. Every year at the summit, we introduce new programs and do a deep dive on two of our most popular evaluation tools, the walk audit and the arrival and dismissal observation. We announced the new professional development opportunities offered to teachers in Massachusetts related to Safe Routes to School. My colleague Judy will follow me with details about the new initiative. Also, our team was joined by two speakers at the summit. Emily Klein from Safe Roads Alliance, who spoke to us about a new program that was launched during this school year. The program is an opportunity to talk to students in 2nd to 6th grades about distracted driving. And Galen Mook, the executive director of Mass Bike, introduced what may be a new program to some of you, what it takes to be a bike-friendly driver. We gave a quick demo of how our new online dashboard functions. The tool provides information on the work we're doing across the Commonwealth, and the information can be viewed either by community, school district, or individual school. And then to segue between each topic, my colleagues and I shared quick tips related to a personal interest of ours. In case you missed the summit or want a refresher, individual videos are available for all the topics listed on the slide. As I mentioned a moment ago, we introduced the topic of bike-friendly driver during the summit in October. We shared our backpack flyer titled 8 Ways to Share the Space with Bicyclists as an addition to our portfolio of education resources for drivers. We felt it was important to include information and graphics about road markings and signs specifically related to bicycles. Some of these markings and signs may have not existed when drivers received their driver's licenses and may not exist in every community. The document includes information about the law as it relates to people on bikes and the rights we have in Massachusetts. Yes, bicyclists have the right to have space on the road. What makes this tool unique is that the message is applicable to bicyclists of all ages traveling anywhere, not just near schools. We encourage you not only to share this document with school communities, but neighborhood organizations, municipal employees, businesses, and more. We also encourage you to watch the video where Galen Mook, again of Mass Bike, talks about the importance of sharing information with drivers about people riding bicycles on our streets. And the document is available in 10 languages on our website. And now I'll pass it over to my colleague, Judy.
Thank you, Vivian. According to the Center for Disease Control, walking and biking are life skills that also support student independence, resiliency, and recommended daily physical activity. From a student's perspective, navigating the built environment when arriving and departing school offers different physical and cognitive challenges than for adults. As part of the Safe Routes educational programming, our outreach coordinators offer DESE-approved professional development for pedestrian and bicycle safety that meet the same frameworks for health and wellness. The program is most proud that DESE has taken the further step of accrediting our curriculum for Massachusetts educators. As regular professional development is a license requirement for all educators and administrators, the Mass Safe Routes to School program is excited to share our pedestrian and bicycle educational programming on this stage. Participating educators and administrators will complete 4 modules over about 10 to 12 and a half hours, as listed on the slide. Instruction includes online, in-person, and hybrid course content. Upon completion, educators will have the ability and knowledge to conduct pedestrian and bicycle safety instruction for grades K through 8, including a working understanding of our materials for students of all abilities, equity strategies, how to establish walking school buses and bike trains, bike and pedestrian themed lesson plans, and the use of mentoring models for peer-on-peer learning. The advantages to this latest collaboration between Safe Routes to School and DESE include improving district equity and offering the same head bike curriculum to all districts, all schools within the district, not just those that raise their hand for programming. And it improves subject matter sustainability as the head bike curriculum is adopted into regular health and wellness lesson planning. Educators will receive a certificate of completion following each module and one for the entire course. The professional development block program can be provided on an individual school or district level on designated professional development days or during teaching blocks. Please reach out to your outreach coordinator for scheduling information. Next, we're talking about the Arrivals Dismissals Toolkit. All students must arrive and depart school. Walkers and bikers, bus riders, family and staff vehicles, and public safety vehicles need to be able to navigate school property and the school zone safely in spite of vehicle traffic, space limitations, local infrastructure, and human behavior. Managing how all school travel modes interact improves student, staff, and communities' health and safety while establishing sustainable modal choices that are more accessible and equitable. To be inclusive of all travel modes, Safe Routes uses the terms arrival and dismissal rather than pickup and drop off, which are more vehicle-centric. This toolkit discusses the best practices central to arrival and dismissal planning and presents a 5-step process to identify and overcome common challenges. The described steps, as listed on the slide, guides the reader through the arrival dismissal planning process, concluding with implementing infrastructure, educational, and procedural short-term and long-term solutions. Codifying and communicating these solutions into a user-friendly arrival and dismissal plan is the desired end product. Additional toolkit content includes planning considerations for special circumstances, case studies, a glossary, and a list of additional resources. Look for this toolkit on our website later this spring. Next, to share what's new with the program is Rachel Lowe.
Awesome. Thanks, Judy. I'm really excited to see all those new tools and resources being used by schools. And now I will discuss some new equity, encouragement, and engagement resources. The Massachusetts Safe Routes to School program works with schools all across the state, from the tip of Cape Cod all the way to the New York border. We understand that every school and community is unique and that some schools are limited in their ability to walk, bike, and roll to school. That's why we developed this on-campus activity guide. We wanted to show schools that there are many aspects of the program they can utilize, such as pedestrian and bike safety sessions, walk at school events, and arrival dismissal observations. It's just like Judy said, all students must arrive and depart school. You will also notice that throughout the guide, there are testimonials from communities where walking and rolling is limited. So I just want to give a huge thank you to those 4 Safe Routes champions who shared their experience to help show that Safe Routes to School has something for everyone. You can find this document on the encouragement page of our website. One of our favorite annual events is the Yard Sign Design Contest, and this year's theme was centered on bringing awareness to walking school bus and bike train routes. We wanted the designs to help guide students along their way to school while also making drivers aware that students will be walking or rolling along a certain route. We were excited to see over 300 submissions come in, and we can't wait to announce the winners in May. You can check out the winning designs from previous years under the encouragement page of our website. And if you want to request some yard signs for your school property or municipality, please reach out to your outreach coordinator or use our online request tool that is within the yard sign contest section of the encouragement page. And now from one Rachel to another, I will pass things along to Rachel M.
Great, thanks, Rachel. Whether it's raining or snowing, freezing cold or hot and humid, crossing guards are outside to ensure our students get to and from school safely. This is why we created Crossing Guard Appreciation Day to recognize the hard work of crossing guards across the Commonwealth. For the second year in a row, we invited families, school staff, and community members to nominate their local crossing guards and to share the unique ways that they contribute to our school communities. From February 28th to March 23rd, we received a total of 244 nominations, which is over 70 more than last year. We are very excited to announce the Crossing Guard of the Year winners within the next month, and we will also highlight their contributions during our annual awards ceremony in June. Even if your school did not participate in Crossing Guard Appreciation Day this year, a thank you card for your local crossing guard is available on the engagement page of our website year-round. In December 2021, the winners of the 8th annual Safe Streets, Smart Trips statewide high school video contest were announced at the annual MassDOT Moving Together conference. The video contest, which was open to all Massachusetts high school students, featured a freshman and sophomore category, as well as a junior-senior category. Students produced 30 to 60-second long educational videos on the topic of being a bike-friendly driver. The winners included Newton North High School, Apponequet Regional High School, Maynard High School, Sharon High School, Nauset Regional High School, and Dartmouth High School. The winning videos from 2021 and previous years are available on the encouragement page of the Safe Routes to School website. These videos are great resources to teach high school students about the importance of sharing the road when they are learning to drive. And now I will pass it back to Diane to talk about our engineering resources.
Great. Thank you so much, Rachel. So right before the start of the school year, we launched our Signs and Lines grant round for 2021-2022 and held an online information session. We do anticipate launching this program again around the same time in the fall school year, in the next fall school year. If you are interested in learning more about the application process, I definitely suggest watching this webinar in preparation for applying. We will most certainly be hosting another one this August or September as well. As a refresher, the Signs and Lines program is a quick build reimbursement grant that provides design services and up to $6,000 in reimbursement to the municipalities for signs and lines around a partner school. All projects are designed in the fall and winter and executed in the spring, with completion required by the end of the school year. Our team conducts a site walk, prepares a needs assessment memo, and complete design plan set for the municipality. This year's projects currently under construction are in Dedham, Haverhill, Melrose, Newton, and Revere. Congratulations again to our grant recipients. And going on to infrastructure funding, in October, we launched our larger Safe Routes to School infrastructure grant program and opened it for applications. Similar to Signs and Lines, we hosted an information webinar for all of our applicants, guiding them through the application process, as well as expectations for the projects. Unlike the $6,000 cap and one-year timeline for Signs and Lines projects, infrastructure projects are much larger in scope, funding, and timeline. These projects improve safety for students both walking and rolling to school and improve connectivity from neighborhoods and trail systems. This year's grant recipients are from all over the Commonwealth and submitted projects for multi-use paths, upgraded walk and bike networks, and more. As with Signs and Lines, we do anticipate another round of funding to be announced this fall, so please make sure to watch out for launch announcements and webinars at the start of the next school year. And now I'm going to pass the presentation back to Lucy to talk about our evaluation tools. Hopefully Lucy can unmute herself.
Yes,
If
thanks,
not,
Diane.
yes, sure, no problem.
This is the 4th year of our partner survey, and we rely heavily on your feedback to guide our program moving forward. This survey is open to all contacts in our school partner and stakeholder mailing list. The survey objectives are to understand how schools are using the program and what your perceptions of the program are, assess value of specific content, resources, and materials provided by us, identify any changes in behavior associated with the program, like improved safety and increased walking and biking, and assess interest in future programs and services. We just closed this year's survey last Friday, and I'm happy to share some preliminary results. We heard from 175 folks in 80 different school districts. Close to 70% of respondents indicated that our program makes it safer for kids to walk, bike, and roll. And they also noted that the program has increased the number of walking, biking, and rolling trips. I am also personally happy to know that you like getting emails from me. The top 3 ways you like hearing from us is directly from your coordinator, our Safe Routes to School newsletters, and attending webinars and events such as this. I think for the first time in our survey's history, parents and guardians provided the highest number of responses, followed by school district staff and local school staff. Thank you to everyone who responded to our survey. We look forward to digging into your responses and continuing to grow this amazing program. And now I'm going to pass the presentation to Maggie.
Thanks, Lucy. We have 2 great events coming up to finish out the year. First is Massachusetts Walk, Bike, and Roll to School Day on Wednesday, May 4th, aka Star Wars Day, as in May the 4th be with you. Several participating schools are using this as a theme for their event, so that is something to keep in mind. Leon will put the registration link in the chat, but it is also on our website. Second is our annual Safe Routes to School awards ceremony taking place via Zoom on Friday, June 3rd at 10 a.m. We invite you all to join us in celebrating all the schools and organizations that have been instrumental in utilizing our programs and growing our reach. Make sure to check in with your outreach coordinator and fill out the annual certificate checklist to be recognized at the awards ceremony. Leon will be pasting the link to this form now, as well as a second link where you can register for the awards ceremony. We look forward to seeing you there. And this is just a reminder that the Safe Routes to School program operates year-round. During the summer, we are working with schools and districts to help with active transportation planning, professional development sessions, updating arrival dismissal procedures, and conducting summer bike and pedestrian safety sessions at summer programs. Please don't forget to keep in touch with your outreach coordinator and schedule a planning meeting to discuss back to school transportation. And now back to Diane to go through Q&A.
Thanks, Maggie. It seems weird to be talking about summer, but this is our last official webinar of the year. So we always want to get that plug in for the summer. So I know Leon's been busily pasting links. I definitely encourage everyone to click on those, save them, make sure that you're filling out your certificates so that you can be awarded and recognized in our award ceremony. So I don't know if I see any questions in the chat, but I'd like to open it up now. Any questions for Jackie or Chris or anyone on our team, or about any of the resources that we have launched this year? And you can either take yourself off mute, raise your hand, or also paste in the chat. So I'll kind of be quiet for a second and see if anyone has anything. And Chris or Jackie, if you have anything else to add to, you know, you can also speak up. Though great presentation. Our team has gone through all the resources on that site, and we that's the #1 complaint we get when we go out to the field, is about the speed of cars when kids are walking and biking. Okay, I don't see any questions. Don't be shy. We can certainly give you back part of your day, but also would love to be able to help you. It can be about anything you saw in the presentation today or anything else about the Safe Routes program. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, Diane, I just wanted to chime in because I received a couple questions privately in the chat. And so and I thought that they were really great questions that I thought would be worth kind of sharing with everyone. So 3 things. One is, you know, there's a question about kind of funding and resources to actually implement roadway treatments. Absolutely, you know, it's going to take resources. what we were able to do when we launched this new Safe Speed site in the new year, we also launched a new round of Shared Streets and Spaces grant program, which was actually largely inspired by the Safe Routes to School Signs and Lines program and expanding it beyond schools for kind of quick, rapid implementation. The deadline already passed March 1, but we anticipate future rounds, and there's a whole focus on encouraging communities to apply for speed management and implementing these roadway treatments in their communities. And that's also through that Safe Streets link. The second question I got, again, was about the 85th percentile rule. I think that there's two things. One is it's still used as a reference point, but it's what we want to emphasize is it's not the only reference point. So we want to look at what's the 10th percentile, what's the 50th percentile, and use it only as one input in terms of setting speed limits. But what we really want to ensure is kind of the older approach, which was to say, how fast are people driving today, and therefore design around that. And we want to flip it. And we want to say, what is your target speed? What is the appropriate target speed in this context? And forget for a moment what the current speed limit is, forget how fast people are driving today, and really more answer a series of questions that we've put out on the website to kind of help you determine what is the appropriate target speed, how do we achieve that, and then speed limit setting comes last. I'm happy to always talk offline more. And then the third question I got was specific about about school zones. And one of the things that we're looking to do is to evolve the guidance around what determines a speed zone around schools once federal highway releases their new regulations, likely in early 2023, they're saying, which would then give us the additional flexibility to make Massachusetts amendments and evolve that. And we look forward to working with the Safe Routes to School community in that process. Thanks.
Thank you, Jackie. And I did get a private question asking, when will the arrival dismissal toolkit be ready? So it's so close. We just want to make it absolutely perfect so that all of our schools can utilize this great resource. So we're looking to have it, I would say, by the end of the month, and we'll certainly make a big splash about it when we send it out and put it out on social media as well as on our website. So looking forward to that. And any other questions? Again, you can raise your hand or take yourself off mute. Otherwise, I can move to our thank you slide, and also a reminder that please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We always put great resources up there. That's the first place that you'll learn about something other than one of our newsletters. And we love it when schools follow us and we follow you right back, and love to hear your great stories. So thanks again for all of the wonderful work that you do. We hope to see you all at the awards ceremony in June. That's June 3rd at 10 a.m. And of course, the link is in the chat. And I think Leon repasted a copy of our presentation from today, so you can download that as well. So thank you all, and thanks again to our special guest speakers, Jackie and Chris, for a fantastic presentation. Look forward to hearing about those resources being used. Everyone have a great day.
Thank you.